Absolutely. Like when you see Channel 9 and Channel 7, they often have the neighbours from hell segments. Now, most times they can be like in Sydney or sometimes Melbourne, mostly in Sydney, which is fluoridated for 45 years. And a lot of them are out in the suburbs, so you've got the lower class, and I don't mean that rudely, I mean people who don't have a great deal of money, so they're renting, the house has been sprayed probably don't know how many times with pesticides, they can't afford to buy bottled water or non-fluoridated water, so that's all they consume is fluoridated water and soft drinks. Everything they eat and drink's fluoridated. All our foods are sprayed with fluorinated pesticides and other pesticides and herbicides and fungicides. What I'm saying, I believe it's the fluoridated water that broke the camel's back. That's the straw that broke the camel's back, particularly with behaviour, but in general health, it's just an absolute disaster. You know, the population, we are toxic waste filtration units using our kidneys. I mean, how crazy is that?
Could you talk a little bit about the work of Glenn Walker?
Oh, Glenn Walker, I knew him 20 years ago after my son was almost died from the vaccine reaction. And yeah, we used to, because I didn't have a computer then, so we'd fax each other and talk on the phone, but just an amazing man who wrote this book. His background, you know, obviously he was just such a very, very clever man with such expertise in chemicals and engineering. So for the government not to have listened to someone of Glenn's calibre just shows that they are not interested in anything. They should have listened to him, because many people have been harmed. Some of them don't even know it yet, but you know, they could end up on a dialysis or have mental health issues, bone diseases, learning difficulties, other behavioural problems. Their child might end up being, you know, a violent criminal. If only, and you know, we're facing an Alzheimer's epidemic as well. There's also an epidemic of esophageal and gastrointestinal cancers and irritations. I mean, it really is serious.
And you'd relate that back to fluoride again?
Well, yes, because we just drink enormous amounts. You know, we drink huge amounts of water. The hotter the state, the hotter the town, the more you drink. So, of course, anything that you're going to consume large amounts of over week in, week out, year in, year out, certainly, and if it's, you know, a dangerous, toxic, corrosive chemical, you know, it's mad.
Is there anything you'd like to say to governments? Is there anything you'd like to say to the public in some nation?
Well, it takes whistleblowers, and some of them do get the chance. Now, that was Shiv Chopra in Canada. He worked with Health Canada. He's blown the whistle and just said, you know, it is corrupt to the core. He was speaking about Health Canada itself. And he just said there are industry frontmen stacked everywhere. All I'm asking is that the Australian people consider this. You wouldn't deliberately give your child a low dose of strychnine, a low dose of arsenic, or other horrendous poison every day, would you? You wouldn't dream of it. That's probably a little bit harsh for me to say that, but when you're looking at these silicofluoride poisons, it is in your water supply. That is our source of life. As human beings, we can't survive without water. Nothing on our earth can survive without water. Our earth is already polluted to such an extent that if you're not terrified, you should be. I'm asking you to join with everyone who's fighting water fluoridation in Australia, in America, in parts of England, Ireland, and the other countries who are silly enough, not many more, to put it in. Please, please do your own research. Take note of this documentary. Believe that it's true, because nobody in this, we do this for nothing. Many of us have done it for over 2 decades, running out, paying for our own websites to try and help you, the people, get the truth. We're not the fat pigs at the trough. We must get this truth out, and please call for a ban. Demand it. Don't sit back. Demand. Go to whoever you can and drive them insane and say, we want water fluoridation stopped, and we want it stopped now. We want it stopped permanently, and we want it stopped irrevocably, so that none of you guys can do your deals in the future and ever get it back. We have to stop it now. There is just too much collusion going on, and mainstream media should be absolutely ashamed that so many people have had to do this themselves and make so many other videos themselves trying to get the information to the people, the truth to the people. Because we care about our fellow human beings, we care about our environment, and we care about our entire planet. Thank you. I don't know what happened to our Australians to get up and fight their guts out for what's right. We have to get the people to do something. We're in real trouble here.